Everyone, just doing a short video on a recent Alliance Conquest match that we had. This is W0B against TMQ. Starting kind of towards the beginning here and speeding things up a little bit. So we started off okay in this one. One thing I did, a couple of things I wanted to point out that might help some people. At the beginning, we've captured 3 buildings here, whereas the opponents only have 1. I find it really important, actually, in the beginning. Don't get fooled. Don't use your 50% speed ups, the free ones you get for Alliance Conquest, if your Alliance buys them from the shop. Use the 75s, because if you don't, the other team will, and they'll get to the buildings faster than you do. I think in this time, my colleagues took that advice. And that's why we have 3 buildings. We've got the 2 towers, and we've also got our near outpost. That is really important. There's still some people who I come across who aren't really familiar with some of the niceties of Alliance Conquest. Communicate. Do it from the very beginning, and identify who's going to go where, who's going to go to the towers, who's going for the outposts. Make sure people are ready. Make sure others don't interfere and jump ahead of them, because sometimes people do. And if you're not one of the rally leaders, for gosh sakes, don't do anything. Just wait until buildings are taken and then reinforce them. It's really, really simple. And I think that sometimes a lot of alliances make things complicated by just not being disciplined.
You lack discipline.
You won't lose an Alliance Conquest right in the first few minutes, but you can sure set yourself up for it. And that's what I've found. So far, as I'm accelerating the time here, we're preparing for the ports. That's obviously far more important. A lot of people, I think, put a little bit too much emphasis on the towers. It's good to have them, Mother and Warrior, of course, for the obvious boosts, but get ready for the ports. And now here I've kind of skipped ahead a little bit. Almost time for the ports. 9, here we go. Okay, I was going to put something in the chat, but I don't know what. Okay, here we go. And it seems like whoever was supposed to go to our near port didn't do it properly. Well, Mr. Blue got the other one. That's good. Okay, my game glitched there. I know that. So I cut that part out. And now, as you can see, we're filling the ports. That's critical. Every single player should be filling the ports. There's no question about that. Right now, we have a numbers advantage, which is great. We're 37 against 22. Again, just delayed reaction. Whoever was supposed to go for that port just didn't. We've got somebody obviously scouting the port to see what's going on. And I guess we're ready. So now we're setting up multiple rallies on the port. This is a little bit questionable. I don't mind it in this case, but some people say, well, you should wait until Casterly Rock is taken before you start rallies on the port. That can make some sense. We have one of them, and we have the other buildings, and that's fine. So I don't really mind too much that we're doing this rally on the near port. I think we can afford to do it. But certainly at this point, before Casterly Rock is settled, don't bother going after any of the towers or any of the other buildings. I just think that's silly. In this particular case, it's not a terrible idea to launch some rallies on the ports. As long as you have some really good confidence that you have somebody really solid who's going to be able to take Casterly without too much of a hitch. And you never know, because anything can go wrong. Your game may glitch. Now, it looks like, according to this arrow, that we get there first, but yeah, see, this is the thing. That could have been another, our guy used a 50 and the other person used a 75, and now we're having problems. So we're barely we just ran some rallies on the port. Yeah, this is the end of the rally, and we weren't able to even dislodge a single person from it. So the person there has some really, really, really good stats, and that's going to be a really, really tough nut to crack. And now we're down Casterly as well. That gives the other team a really big advantage. And now we've got a 200 point per minute deficit. That's going to be really tough. I'm joining the rallies as much as I can here. Might as well. Your troops don't do any good sitting in your castle. So we're going again. Being pointed out that the last rally wasn't really very effective, but got to try something. Here they come. Now we're skipping ahead a little bit further. And yeah, down at the bottom left, you can see in the chat, I was just about to point out exactly what Hawkslide said. At this point, we've taken both the strongholds, which is really interesting. I'm not sure exactly how that happened. But use it to your advantage. Pick a building, get it together and hit that building and concentrate on that. Trying to spread it out and say, well, you guys hit over here and you guys hit over there, that's a recipe for failure. Just pick one building and put the NPCs, the troops coming from the stronghold, at it and let them go. And by the looks of it, we've got rallies going on Casterly Rock, not on the port. So again, this is yeah, we do. So this is not great communication here. We should be directing those troops towards Casterly. I'm not sure what the problem was there with our communication, but that's not good. Okay, so here come the incoming rallies. Again, I'm speeding this up. Here comes one. And that didn't do a whole heck of a lot. No, it did almost nothing, because I think that was at about 4.1 or 4.2 million before that rally hit. Here comes another one. Okay, that one did a little bit better. That one did about the same as well. I'm gonna just quickly speed up my my heal so I can help participate in these rallies. So that didn't work. Okay, well the troops from the one stronghold are hitting Casterly. They're reinforcing, so it's not too bad. And okay, I'm skipping ahead a little bit more here. Okay, we've lost the other port. I'm just having a quick look at the strengths of the other team. Yeah, they've got a couple of really, really, really big hitters. Obviously with some really good stats, so that's why we're at a bit of a disadvantage. We're still slightly ahead in terms of score, but not by much, and it's not going to last at this rate. That's for sure. 18,840 to 18,100. And now it's being pointed out quite correctly where we should go after that other port. Here come the rallies on Casterly that we had scheduled from the beginning. Okay, or at least in this round. Okay, so that one didn't do much. I don't know what's taking so long. This is really key. I'm hoping the other rallies all kind of hit together, because one of the other things is you got to make sure that the rallies hit in succession before the opponent has time to reinforce. If they come even within like 30-40 seconds, that's plenty of time for them to reinforce. Okay, and I see here that, okay, this is pretty good. Okay, so we've got one coming up right behind it. That's two. Okay, wow. Still haven't dislodged anybody. That's still 12. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, Naruto is one of our big hitters, so we were able to, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, but even with that, we're still losing. We're still losing, and we're still down by 100 points per minute. So we're going to have to figure something else out. And in all that time that it took us to get it together, so that we could take back Casterly, we've lost the 2 strongholds from what I see. Again, for some reason, I don't know whether it was my internet or just the game was a little bit glitchy, but yeah, I couldn't quite catch all the footage of what happened over there at the strongholds. Anyway, here we are now. We're going to fill it. At least that'll give us a fighting chance so that we can try and put our attention towards one of the other ports. If we can turn the tide on one of those ports in time, then that might just give us enough to pull out a victory. So let's see what happens here. When you take Casterly, the one good thing about it is you really don't have to use speed ups in order to reinforce, because there's a good, first time there's 4 minutes, the next time I think there's 3 minutes, which is plenty of time to get there. So moving forward a little bit, now we're down, almost, we have more than 9,000 points. Oh, I see there from the crawl that, okay, Mr. Blue has captured the outpost. For what it's worth, we've taken back the strongholds as well, but now it's far too late. Clearly our hits on the ports and Casterly didn't do enough. As I'm sure you've seen, if you've ever played AC for any length of time, if you can keep the ports and you can keep Casterly, you've pretty much won. It doesn't even really become a time thing at that point. If you can get them from towards the beginning and hold them, that's pretty much it. Even halfway through the game, if you have to take 1 or 2 of them back, that's also fine. This is one where we just couldn't really hold out, or couldn't really get our communication together until kind of the very end, when it was too late anyway. Right now we're just looking for points, and we're certainly not going to get to the 40,000. So this is a good example, I think, of what to do if you have an alliance where, even if you're outnumbered, as we are, here 37 versus 22, but if you have a few heavy hitters with good stats, and if you concentrate on the 3 key buildings, that's definitely the best strategy in a situation like this. It's definitely a winning combination to focus on on Casterly and the 2 ports, and not worry so much about the other buildings. You'll notice that in this case, the Alliance didn't even try for either of the 2 towers. It wasn't really important to them.